A Day in the Death of Walter Zawislak by Molly O'Keefe. Narrated by Cam Drynan. Chapter 1. Walter had no idea where he was going, but he kept on, shuffling down the long gray hallway like a good soldier. "Hello!" His voice echoed back without reply. Customer service at St. Mike's was slipping if you asked him. Used to be you couldn't even sneeze without a dozen nurses coming in to take your blood pressure. He guessed he was walking from his room, one of the cheap ward ones where he and the rest of the guys on Medicaid were pooled, but he couldn't be sure. The drugs they'd kept him on since he was admitted were disorienting. The other night he could have sworn Matt Saunders, his next-door neighbor who died 2 winters ago, came into his room to fight about that ladder Walter borrowed and broke. This isn't the cardiac wing. Walter was sure of that, at least. That wing had yellow and green walls, soothing colors so as to not create any undue excitement for weak tickers. Watercolor pictures like the ones in the cardiac wing hung on the walls, except these landscapes and pictures of cottages and birds were the color of slate and thunderclouds, gray everywhere. Strangest damn decor he'd ever seen. He blinked and rubbed his runny eyes, but nothing changed. Last round of blood thinners must have screwed up his vision. His right leg throbbed from deep inside where the scar tissue originated, out through bone and sinew like chain lightning. Where the heck did I leave my cane? Suddenly, he was aware of a high-pitched ringing in his ears, a steady squeal. He stopped walking to dig into his left ear where it seemed to be loudest, but it didn't help. Must be coming from behind one of them gray doors. Someone's heart monitor with bad news. Good thing he had his slippers and that he had remembered his robe. The other day, he woke up to find a woman standing over his bed. He had been startled, or rather figured he should be startled, but the drugs took the edge off most things, and when she had turned around, he could see her whole dimpled backside. Since then, he had insisted on wearing his robe at all times. He put a hand to his heart, startled by the ease with which things were working in his chest. The constant tightness he'd long grown used to was missing. He took a deep breath, filling the low and withered bottom third of his lungs that had been neglected since the last heart attack. I must be getting discharged. For once, he was going to leave the hospital healthier than when he went in. A miracle. "Hello? Anybody home?" He knocked on one of the gray doors, but not a soul answered him or poked their head out to see what the ruckus was. There must have been trouble someplace, Walter guessed. All the doctors and nurses.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?